By the power vested in me, I hereby constitute this assembly as a legal congregation of the University of Pretoria. During this assembly, degrees with all the associated rights and privileges will be conferred on the candidates whose names appear on the program. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to join us in silent prayer or meditation to give thanks for the achievements of our students. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, as Chancellor of the University of Pretoria, it is my singular honor and privilege to extend a warm welcome to all of you at this graduation. I wish in particular to welcome the Deputy Ambassador of Hungary, Z.B. Rothschild, the recipient of the honorary doctorate degree, Professor B.A. Schneidman, the Dean of the Faculty, Professor B.D.J. Maharaj, the Deputy Dean, Professor A.J. van der Merwe, the Deputy Dean, Professor E.C. Webb, the Deputy Dean, Professor J.H.P. Elof, and the Deputy Director, Department of Enrollment and Student Administration, Mr. Muller. The chairpersons of schools, heads of departments, directors and honorary professors and other lecturers and their spouses, supervisors, co-supervisors, and external examiners of the doctorate students, the representative of the Student Representative Council will present the SRC academic colors this morning, and all persons whom degrees will be conferred this morning, and all spouses, parents, and parties, as well as dignitaries that we may not be aware of. You are all welcome, and we hope you will enjoy this morning with us. It is, of course, always a singular privilege for the Chancellor to congratulate the graduates. And this morning we have got a large number from the Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology. We thank the faculty for the work that has been done, and we congratulate the graduates for their achievements and wish them great success in their careers. We will applaud you appropriately towards the end of the program, but for now, I want to request the Dean to introduce to me the candidate for the honorary doctorate.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you the Deputy Ambassador of Hungary, Ms. Rothschild, who will receive the award on behalf of Professor Joseph Karger Coxas for the conferment of the degree Doctor of Engineering honoris causa in absentia. Joseph Karger Coxas was born in 1950 in Budapest, Hungary. He started his studies at the Technical University of Budapest, where he received the Diploma Engineering in Chemistry in 1974. He worked first at the Research Institute for the Plastics Industry in Budapest. He received his PhD at the Moscow Institute of Fine Chemicals Technology, then in the USSR, in 1983. Later, he was employed as chief engineer in the factory at the Taurus Hungarian Rubber Works in Budapest. After a research stint as an Alexander von Humboldt Fellow and scientific co-worker at Technical University of Hamburg in Germany from 1985 to 1986, and then 1988 to 1990 respectively, he joined the Institute for Composite Materials in Kaiserslautern, Germany, where he worked from 1990 until 2009 as group leader. He obtained the qualification Doctor of Science from the Hungarian Academy of Sciences in 1991. From 2009, he has been a research professor at the Department of Polymer Engineering at the Budapest University of Technology and Economics. Professor Karga Coxes is a recipient of the Denis Gabor Prize and the Innovation Award of the Hungarian plastics industry in 2016. He is a member of the editorial boards of several scientific journals and acts as an editor-in-chief for the Open Access Express Polymer Letters. Professor Karga Cox's research interests cover different aspects of polymer and composite engineering. He holds 33 patents and is the co-editor of 4 books and the co-author of more than 550 scientific contributions and has more than 11,000 independent citations and an H-index of 70. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the honorary doctorate on the candidate in absentia.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Engineering honoris causa with all the rights and privileges on Professor Joseph Karga Coxes in absentia. I think let's give him a round of applause. This is the to the message from Professor Joseph Karga Coxes.
Dear Professor Talavei, Maharaj, Deval, Professor Fouquet, Deans, faculty members, graduates, dear audience. I am deeply honored by the conferment of the Doctor Honoris Causa degree of the University of Pretoria. I am very proud of it. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, due to health problem, I am not able to be present in person. That I regret very much. Therefore, this video message. On the other hand, I appreciate very much that the Deputy Ambassador of Hungary, Mrs. Rothschild, will overtake this degree on my behalf. Now I would like to share some thoughts about my topic. Nowadays, plastics have become the #1 enemy of the environmentalists. Horror pictures appear in the media about plastic waste, debris, microparticles leaking into the natural systems, oceans, and their inhabitants. So why to honor our scientist who dedicated his activities to the development and use of plastics and related components? As in all cases, the scenario is a bit more complicated, but there is no doubt about the benefits of the plastics, about which I would like to persuade you next. Let us start, however, with the trade-offs. Unfortunately, this is no more a horror scenario that by 2020, the oceans are expected to contain more plastics than fish by weight, even when overfishing is disregarded. However, major pollutants are Asian countries, more than 80%, followed by Africa, South America, and Australia, 16%. Further, by 2050, about 20% of the total oil production worldwide will be used to produce plastics, resulting in a carbon budget share of 15%. Now it is only about 6%. So indeed, plastics will make an essential contribution to the carbon dioxide emission. What has to be done to keep the global warming below +2 centigrade threshold worldwide? First, plastics should be decoupled from fossil feedstock. The related strategy can be considered as back to the roots, since the first plastics in 100 years ago were all natural-based ones. Fine achievements can be noticed in this field already when you have a look at the label information of soft drink bottles. Green content. Second, the linkage to the environment should be reduced dramatically. It does not mean the ban of packaging, like shopping bags, but a disciplined reuse of them. Instead of throwing them away, to collect them, even in separated form. Third, an effective after-use plastics economy should be created. The target is a closed-loop recycling, keeping the above example with soft drink bottles. Bottle-to-bottle recycling is preferred. Mixed plastic streams should be separated. Otherwise, secondary downgraded products are the results which have only limited market chance. Fortunately, we have also our big five. They are called polyethylene, polypropylene, polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene, and polyethylene terephthalate. Nevertheless, recycling-friendly strategies should be followed already in the design of products. This was also my target when dealing with all the same polymer composites. Tasks of the circular economy, which involves recycling, have been understood and suitable measures have been already taken by side of the producer. I hope that this happened also from the side of Sasol. There is, however, a big gap from the demand side, from the end users. They have to be told that plastics waste is a feedstock for the future. Needless to say that this can hardly be achieved without governmental efforts. It would be essential to establish a think tank on plastics, making recommendations for policymakers on the development, design, reuse of plastics, thereby considering South African localities. I am sure that the University of Pretoria will have a key role in such a think tank. But have also a look at the bright side of the plastics. We are benefiting of them every day. Transport and storage of agricultural products, using packaging with tailored barrier performance, long-lasting construction window frames in housing, UV-resistant and waterproof coatings in many fields, tires with reduced braking distance via rubber compounding, lightweight cars going to steel replacement by plastics, mine strata stabilization with in-situ hardened resins, sewage pipe rehabilitation without digging, causes of electronic equipments, manifold medical applications, dentistry, bone tissue engineering, just to mention some examples which may be related with South Africa. Plastics with functional properties such as shape memory, self-healing, electric conductivity will next penetrate into the markets. Novel processing methods such as additive manufacturing via filament deposition will be established and widely used. So, plastics remain the workhorses of materials because they are useful, versatile materials with tailored properties. We have only to have a new look, a fresh look on the cradle-to-grave and cradle-to-cradle aspects. Thank you very much again for this great honor. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you'll get a copy of Professor Joseph's comments later on, but it's really my pleasure to congratulate him on this award and to wish him a speedy recovery. We hope that sometime in the future he will recover and be in a position to visit the University of Pretoria. Let's give him another round of applause. now call on the Dean to present to me Professor Ben Abraham Schneiderman, who is going to be receiving a Doctor of Science honorary causa.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Professor Ben Schneiderman for the conferment of the degree Doctor of Science honoris causa. Ben Schneiderman is one of the most influential human-computer interaction researchers in the world, and in his 1986 list of 8 golden rules of interface design is still frequently taught in human-computer interaction courses. His book, Designing the User Interface, is now in its 6th edition, 2016, and has been translated into 8 languages and is used worldwide in human-computer interaction courses. His work contributed to the large degree of graphical user interfaces that we still currently use on our computers and mobile devices. He was instrumental in developing the selectable link of the World Wide Web and the small touchscreen keyboards that we use on our smartphones and other devices. He was elected to this prestigious US National Academy of Engineering in recognition of his pioneering contributions to human-computer interaction and information visualization. He is also a fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science, a fellow of the Institute of Electrical, Electronic and Computer Engineering, that's the IEEE, and a fellow of the Association of Computing and the National Academy of Inventors. Professor Ben Schneiderman is a world leader in the visualization of big data sets and has made significant contributions with regard to the analysis and presentation of large health data sets, including the star field and tree maps. The book, Rock the Research, your guidebook for accelerating campus discovery and innovation, published in 2018, provides strategies to redirect research to make revolutionary advances in communication, healthcare, transportation, business, and government, which will improve the lives of people. His work is rooted in a deep passion for using computers to improve the quality of lives for all globally. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the honorary doctorate on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Science honoris causa with all the rights and privileges on Professor Ben Abraham Schneiderman. Congratulations. Professor Ben Abraham Schneiderman to address the Assembly.
Chancellor Wiseman Nakulu, Dean Sunil Maharaj, faculty, honored guests, and students. Today is a day for students to celebrate. You are being honored for completing your education. You've shown your capacity to be serious, diligent, and creative. Each of you has taken risks, struggled with ideas, impressed your mentors, and built relationships. Bravo! Bravo to all of you, and also to your parents and families who I hope have provided supportive and caring attention to you. Getting your degree from the prestigious University of Pretoria raises your stature, but it only brings you to the starting point of your career. That's why in the United States we call this event commencement. You will have a whole lifetime of enjoying the adventures and celebrating successes, but there will also be setbacks to recover from. Your true strength and the depth of your support network will emerge as you deal with the setbacks and choose new directions. The human drama is made up of those who overcame adversity, pushed past commonly held beliefs, and had the imagination to see beyond today's world. My own career was filled with such challenges. Let me tell you about one setback I had as a graduate student in computer science. I attended a lecture by a respected researcher on the hot topic of structured programming. His talk led me to excitedly sketch out a new method of flowcharting for designing software. I shared my insight with a fellow graduate student and dear friend who thoughtfully extended the idea, making him a co-author. We enthusiastically mailed our paper to a respected journal, and instead of waiting for months, we got a response in weeks. I eagerly opened the envelope and imagined what it said. I quote, "The best thing the authors could do is collect all copies of this technical report and burn them. Burn them before anybody reads them. It shows the inexperience and ignorance of the authors." The reviewers referred to our idea as ridiculous and silly. We were shaken, but encouraged by supportive comments from fellow students, we pushed forward by sending a revised paper to a widely read newsletter for programmers. Its prompt publication brought worldwide positive reactions, which led to widespread adoption among practitioners, followed by numerous refinements, plus dozens of textbooks teaching our method to students. Then hundreds of software tools, commercial software tools, dozens of patents, and an international standard secured our place in programming history and in the pages of Wikipedia. So my ridiculous and silly idea became a huge success. I learned a lot from that experience, and the takeaway message is new ideas are often rejected by those who can't accept something different. Think of the challenges faced by physicists. Thank you. Think of the challenges faced by physicist Albert Einstein, environmentalist Rachel Carlson, who wrote Silent Spring, or political activist Nelson Mandela, as they sought to change existing beliefs. In the past, only such celebrated scientists, writers, or leaders were the source of innovations. But the world that is unfolding around you will be expected to break new ground by being creative and innovative. The good news is that from what I have seen here at the University of Pretoria, your professors have been guiding you to go beyond expectations, beyond routines, and beyond traditional roles. Each of you can make a contribution to building a new world for everyone by working at the frontiers of knowledge, pushing off from familiar shorelines into stormy seas, and stepping out from the comfort of home into the enchantment of imagination. Frontier thinking is what you do when you are asked to rebuild a house after an earthquake, care for a seriously ill child, or design websites for users with disabilities. Stormy seas are what you will encounter if you take a leadership position in your community, start a company with a novel business model, or carry out research that challenges existing beliefs. Enchanted imagination is what you will have to demonstrate if you compose a song, write a novel, or inspire a child, your imagination may already have led you to edit successful videos that trigger viral responses on social media, but the next step will be to link those skills to societal needs. My work on high-precision touchscreens was another great story of struggle to overcome existing beliefs. We wanted to improve the early touchscreens, which required 1-inch square buttons. Our team made dozens of refinements to get the high precision that enabled us to build a tiny typewriter keyboard that was just 3 inches wide. We ran tests with 12 users typing common sentences, but a journal reviewer did not believe it was possible. A video finally convinced the editors to publish a paper, leading Steve Jobs to visit our lab at the University of Maryland. So I know how that idea became integrated into billions of mobile devices. Breaking free into new ways of thinking enabled our team to pioneer the touchscreen home controls for alarms, heating, and entertainment. And even my dear colleague, Catherine Plaisant, developed the little idea of swipe to open, swiping to open. A third story is about developing the idea of highlighted links that you mentioned. Highlighted links in a sentence on the screen that users could click on to get what they want. These hot links were integrated into the World Wide Web by Tim Berners-Lee, thereby empowering users around the world. Sometimes a little idea like the highlighted link becomes an important part of a larger, influential project. Small contributions can be like tiles in a mosaic. Each tile is important, and it's part of a larger picture. And every one of you is capable of making a small contribution that could bring about a big change. Finally, be sure to thank the mentors who help you, the doctors and nurses who care for you, and the parents who believed in you. Think carefully about what you can do for others. Be a caring friend, a helpful neighbor, and an honest citizen. Align your heart with your mind, balance passion with rational thinking, then get into action. Start with creative ideas, even though others may think they are ridiculous and silly. Then team up with the people you like, refine your ideas, and contribute to something great. We need everyone's help to build a better world, to improve healthcare delivery, ensure environmental sustainability, promote community safety, and stop fake news. There's lots to be done, so let's get to work. Go Tux! Thank you.
Wow. Professor, your message has been heard. I could see it on the faces of the people in front of me. It has really sunk. I have no doubt that months from now or years, there will be people, there will be innovators who will be referring to this day and say that they were inspired by Ben Stedman when he came here. A role model, a great scientist, and a great innovator. It's really a great honor and privilege for us as University of Pretoria to be associated with you. And I hope really the association with the faculty will add great value and produce more innovators from our country. Thank you very much. Let's give him a round of applause. I now request the Dean and supervisors to present the candidates who will be receiving degrees this morning.
Mr. Chancellor, the supervisors will now introduce the doctoral candidates to you.
Mr. Chancellor, I introduce to you Hein de Tooy, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Real Estate, with a thesis titled An Improved Methodology for the Analysis of Retail Trade Areas, prepared under the supervision of Professor Chris Kloete. Market analysis is a key component of a sound real estate investment analysis. Traditional market analysis techniques, like the central place theory, do not adequately reflect complex trade area attributes and socio-economic realities. In his thesis, the promovendus proposed and integrated 4 techniques, namely the multi-criteria saturation index, retail diversification index, demand density analysis, and the growth matrix to overcome the deficiencies of traditional techniques. The validity of the proposed approach was tested by comparing the actual performance of 12 shopping centres with the sales that had been forecast. The centres are of varying sizes and geographically distributed between 5 provinces and in urban as well as rural markets. Negligible differences between actual and forecast sales were observed when the proposed approach was applied. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Hein de Tooy with all associated rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I introduce to you Andries Hendrik Gustavus van Heerden, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Construction Management, with a thesis titled The Road to Purpose-Fit Selection of the Construction Manager, prepared under the supervision of Dr. Michelle Berger. In his thesis, the promovendus did a multidisciplinary study incorporating construction management and psychology. He proposed a construction management profile and skill set that is essential in order for managers to perform well and remain within the construction industry. The construction industry is currently experiencing an exodus of skilled managers, creating a knowledge gap. The South African Personality Inventory, SAPI, was used to test the profile of construction management students, and interviews were conducted with industry specialists. The outcome of this research offers a suggested construction management profile for future student selection at tertiary level. Improved selection will lead to a profile-fit workforce, thereby decreasing the current managerial exodus. The proposed profile can be recommended for future implementation. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
Congratulations. I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Andries Hendrik van Heerden with all associated rights and privileges.
Mr. Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Town and Regional Planning. Cebekazi Gebeda. Oacheng Mafaretlane. Inodimwa Namonde. Kopise Sebai. Avinash Sudas. Andiswa Spellman. Paul Mariette with distinction. Mr. Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Science in Applied Science Architecture. Llewellyn van Wyk with distinction. Master of Science in Real Estate, Hendriana Pinar. Mr. Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Architecture Honours. Warren Lewis Linden. Bachelor of Science Honours in Quantity Surveying, Wessel Badenhorst. Jan-Rich Kutzer. Reese Comley. Menzi Jlamini. Lebohang Shabango. Bachelor of Science Honours in Construction Management, Willy Potgieter. Bachelor of Science in Architecture, Alistair Johnson. Bachelor of Science in Interior Architecture, Megan Nodia. Rosemary Pretorius. Bachelor of Science in Landscape Architecture, Charles Nodia. Lucia Maduna. Khayaletu Masondo. Awelani Mudau. Gabriel Stolz. Roselle Marie Wippener. Bachelor of Science in Construction Management, Dylan Harth. Paul Janse van Rensberg. Awande Lugojolo. Vivian Menges. Mr. Chancellor, I now ask the supervisors to introduce the doctoral candidates.
Mr. Chancellor, I introduce to you Ben Coetzee Bester, who has complied with the requirements for the degree of philosophy, Doctor of Philosophy in Information Science, with a thesis titled The Development of a Curriculum Model for the Teaching and Training of Information Ethics at Different Educational Levels in a Multicultural Southern Africa, prepared under the supervision of Professor Hannes Brits. Ethics forms a core element for a sustainable, safe, and fair digital world. In his study, The Development of a Curriculum Model for the Teaching and Training of Information Ethics at Different Educational Levels in a Multicultural Southern Africa, the promovendus asked the critical questions: to what extent are the digital citizens of Southern Africa educated to understand the ethical issues posed by modern information technology, and are they morally equipped to address these ethical issues? These issues include, among others, the right to privacy, the right of access to information, cybersecurity, and intellectual property rights. As such, the promovendus developed a standardized curriculum model to teach information ethics not only to primary and secondary school learners, but also to university students and community leaders. The study, which is based on both quantitative and qualitative research methods, focused on core values such as human rights, human dignity, and social justice. The promovendus successfully illustrated how cultural diversity can be accommodated in ethical reasoning, particularly as it pertains to the development of a curriculum model. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Information Science on Ben Coetzee Bester with all associated rights and privileges.
Mr. Chancellor, I introduce to you Peter Yakubushi Makiwa, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Information Systems, prepared under my supervision and the supervision of Professor Corina de Villiers. In his thesis, Developing and Validating an ICT Adoption Framework for SMEs in Developing Country, a Case of Zimbabwe, the promovendus investigated the challenges Zimbabwean SMEs face in adopting and utilizing information communication technology, with particular emphasis on the role of the government. The study fulfilled its main objective of presenting a validated and implementable ICT adoption framework that the Zimbabwean government can utilize to stimulate ICT adoption in SMEs. This research has made a key methodological contribution by using the design science research approach to extract the key constructs required for the development of the ICT adoption framework. This is one of the pioneering studies in the field of ICT adoption, as it has been able to integrate various strategies and constructs into an implementable framework that the Zimbabwean government can use to enhance ICT adoption in Zimbabwean SMEs. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Information Systems on Peter Yakubushi Makiwa with all associated rights and privileges.
Mr. Chancellor, I introduce to you Mosima Jane Mila, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy Information Systems with a thesis titled Towards a Theoretical Framework for Female IT Professionals' Advancement to IT Executive Positions, a South African perspective, prepared under the supervision of myself, Dr. Mari Hatting and Prof. Karina de Villiers. In her thesis, the promovenda focused on the South African women in information technology management. The study addressed the poor representation of female information technology executives in the country and discussed factors that contribute to the success of South African female information technology professionals in achieving information technology executive positions. The study uses Eileen Trout's individual differences theory of gender and information technology to investigate the influence of South African female information technology executives on their career progression. It further explores how these female information technology executives maneuvered through the information technology leadership labyrinth. Using the findings from the study, the research was extended to develop a theoretical framework that female information technology professionals in South Africa could adopt on their career advancement journeys. The framework will be useful to improve the representation of female information technology executives in South Africa. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidates.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Information Systems on Mosima Jane Mela with all associated rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Information Science in Multimedia. Anique Smith with distinction. Master of Information Technology, Odirile Moja. Shanton Ramlal. Master of Information Technology in ICT Management, Taurai Hungwe. Mr. Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science Honours in Computer Science, Pierre Ngameni Pangop. Nokutula Manana. Toliswa Nshingila. Bachelor of Information Science Honours in Information Science, Charles Greef. Simangele Mamba. Velile Sabello. Daniela Stewart. Bachelor of Information Science in Information Science, Sibosiso Dinala. Minenhle Komane. Penuel Sindane. Bachelor of Information Science in Multimedia, Frank Jansa van Rensburg. Bachelor of Science Information Technology in Information and Knowledge System, Banele Tumalo. Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Kulani Bamuza. Nkosinati Motoa. Oratile Motswakosele. Nathan Ngobale. Azza Patel. Mr. Chancellor, the supervisors will now introduce to you the doctoral candidates.
Mr. Chancellor, I introduce to you Maria Todorova Antonesova, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Chemical Technology with a thesis titled Characterization and Properties of Rectorite and Rectorite-based clay films, as well as bio-nanocomposites prepared under the supervision of myself. In this thesis, a green, simple and energy-efficient, economical and environmentally friendly process was optimized to produce self-standing, flexible and mechanically strong clay-only films, as well as rectorite chitosan nanocomposites with high clay loadings, without any binders or other property enhancers. The mechanical performance of these clay-only films compared favorably to those featured by conventional plastics. The statistical projection for the maximum obtainable values for functional properties of these clay films indicate that defect-free films could offer much better mechanical performance. Rectorite chitosan nanocomposites films showed enhanced mechanical performance compared to these clay films, improved optical transparency, and water resistance at high clay loadings. Both starting materials, clay and biopolymer, can be obtained as waste materials. The rectorite occurs as a host rock alteration and could be recovered from mine tailings. Similarly, chitosan is derived from chitin, produced from shellfish waste from the seafood industry. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Maria Todorova Atanasova with all associated rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I introduce to you Oliel Moshe Bell, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Metallurgy with a thesis entitled The Influence of Process Parameters on the Hot Deformation of Behavior of 2304 lean duplex stainless steel, prepared under my supervision. In his thesis, The Influence of Process Parameters on the Hot Deformation Behavior of 2304 lean duplex stainless steel, the promovenda developed a model applicable in the industrial sticker hot rolling of the duplex steel and steels of similar composition. The effect of temperature, strain rate, strain, and interpass time on the phase fraction and microstructural evolution during deformation was evaluated. Strain rate and strain have an effect on the austenite phase fraction, and the extent is temperature dependent. The increase in the austenite phase fraction was found to be due to strain-induced boundary migration into the ferrite phase. The flow behavior of the steel was predicted by the Estrin-Meking model coupled to the Avrami equation. The constants developed in this study are important in the optimization of industrial sticker hot rolling process of this steel and other dual-phase stainless steels of similar composition. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Ole Moshe Bill with all associated rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Introduce to you Renier Kluter, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Civil Engineering, with a thesis titled Behavior and Design of Unstiffened Column Base Connections under Uniaxial and Biaxial Bending, prepared under the supervision of myself. In his thesis, Behavior and Design of Unstiffened Steel Column Base Connections under Uniaxial and Biaxial Bending, the promovendus studied steel column base connections with the aim of developing a design method. Internationally, very little guidance exists on the design of these connections for biaxial flexure combined with axial compression. An extensive experimental program that consisted of 32 tests to failure was conducted. Detailed finite element models, calibrated by using the experimental results, were also prepared. The thesis developed a simplified mechanical model and implemented the proposed design method in software that constructs the connection failure surface. The proposed method aids understanding of base connection behavior subject to biaxial loading and offers a viable method for predicting connection strength. The thesis also addressed shortcomings of current local and international design practice and suggested several improvements which may be implemented in design codes. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Engineering on Renier Kluter with all associated rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I introduce to you Petrus Francois Leroux, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Electric, with the thesis titled Transient Stability by Means of Generator Tripping under-frequency load shedding and a hybrid control scheme, prepared under the supervision of Professor Banzel. In his thesis, the promovendus proposed and developed a new hybrid control scheme where the traditional methods of under-frequency load shedding and generator tripping were combined. The hybrid control scheme was developed to reduce the stress levels exerted on the network and to minimize the load to be shed after a transient fault occurred. The method was implemented on the IEEE 39 bus system known as the 10-machine New England power system. The proposed hybrid control scheme was tested with multiple different scenarios where all results exceeded expectations. The scheme can be recommended for microgrids. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Petrus Francois Leroux with all associated rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Thanks. Mr. Chancellor, I introduce to you June May, who has complied with requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Electronics with a thesis titled Energy Efficient Control of Direct Expansion Air Conditioning Systems, prepared under the supervision of Prof. Shia. In his thesis, the promovendus developed dynamic models of direct expansion air conditioning systems with respect to air temperature, humidity, and CO2, and the interactions among them. An energy-optimized open-loop controller and a closed-loop controller were designed in an autonomous, hierarchical two-layer control system structure to improve indoor comfort levels while minimizing energy consumption. A distributed controller was further designed for a multi-zone building multi-evaporator air conditioning system with reduced communication resources and operational costs. The results were verified and confirmed for their effectiveness. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on June May with all associated rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Mr. Chancellor, I introduce to you Khotla Sile Matthews Mudieginiane, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Electronics with a thesis titled Flexible Network Management in Software-Defined Wireless Sensor Networks for Monitoring Application Systems, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, a software-defined networking strategy is implemented in order to reduce sensor node limitations. The proposed strategy is applied with a focus on ensuring efficient network management, introducing network flexibility, and advancing network innovation with the aim of achieving maximum operation of wireless sensor networks. The machine learning method applied in this scheme enhances sensor data aggregation, improves resource management, and presentation of sensor information. The proposed model may enhance and provide computing capacity to resource-constrained devices and technologies, and therefore have many practical applications in industrial Internet of Things, Industry 4, and cyber-physical systems. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Kotlaisile Modiakhinyane with all associated rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I introduce to you Refilwe Marikure Mpashlele, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Chemical Technology with a thesis titled Evaluation of Letsoku and Related Indigenous Clay Soils prepared under the supervision of myself. In her thesis, the promovendus combined epistemology with the mineralogical and chemical characterization of clay soils that are used as traditional skin cosmetics in South Africa. The key findings were that wide ranges of composition appear to be acceptable, that in essence the clays do not contain any toxic elements, but they do contain appreciable amounts of quartz, which could have health implications. Wide ranges in color, specific surface area, and pH were observed. Minerals discovered included kaolinite, smectites, muscovite, anatase, and iron minerals in various oxidation states. The presence of high contents of gibbsite in samples of Venda represents a new finding for clay soils that are used in traditional cosmetics. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Refilwe Mpashlele with all associated rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I introduce to you Henry Ogbemudia Omoregbi, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy and Mechanics with a thesis titled Diagnosis and Prognosis of Rolling Element Bearings at Low Speed and Varying Load Conditions using Higher Order Statistics and Artificial Intelligence, prepared under my supervision. In his thesis, the promovendus presented a data-driven approach to condition monitoring based on non-parametric statistical feature extraction and artificial intelligence. He developed algorithms that can be used to classify the condition of rolling element bearings under non-steady loads and speeds. Such non-stationary conditions are commonly found in industrial applications such as draglines in mining and rolling mills in many material processing environments. The analytical results obtained by the promovendus were verified with those obtained from a comprehensive experimental program conducted on a rig that was designed and built in the university laboratories. The results from these investigations create a useful diagnostics and prognostics platform for application and practice. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Henry Ogbemudia Omoregbi with all associated rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I introduce you to Piotr Jan Ossoch, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Electronic Engineering with a thesis entitled Synthesis and monolithic integration of analog signal processing networks prepared under my supervision. In his thesis, the promovendus established an efficient numerical synthesis theory for quasi-arbitrary analog signal processing networks based on second-order delay unit elements. He further implemented these second-order networks in suitable microelectronic processors, both at baseband and at millimeter wave frequencies. It is found that this new synthesis approach is guaranteed to result in an optimal minimum order solution without requiring initial values, while the circuit experiments indicate the delay Q values of above 1 for the first time in published literature. These results indicate that it is indeed feasible to pre-process wideband data on chip before digitization, significantly easing the burden on digital signal processing networks. Mr. Chancellor, I request you confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Engineering on Pio Jean Osuk with all associated rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I introduce to you Liesel Skuman, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Metallurgy, with a thesis entitled Evaluation of Polarization Parameters as Predictor of Nickel Electrodeposits Produced from Sulfate Electrolyte, prepared under my supervision. This thesis explored the possibility of predicting nickel electrodeposit morphology with relevance to industrial nickel electrowinning. Prediction of a production outcome based on changes in the electrolyte is important to enable timeous corrective action to be taken during the deposition process. This ensures production of nickel electrodeposits with desirable characteristics. A method was developed to accurately measure the dependence of polarization parameters that are sensitive to growth mechanisms on electrolyte changes. Interrelationships between electrolyte composition, polarization parameters, and deposit morphology were established. Specific combinations of polarization parameters were demonstrated to correlate with specific nickel morphologies. The results of this study can improve response to changes in operating conditions and quality control in industrial nickel electrowinning. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Liesel Skuman with all associated rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I introduce to you Shi Wang, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Electronic Engineering with his thesis titled Resource Allocation Mechanism for Multi-User, Multi-Channel Cognitive Radio Networks, prepared under my supervision. In his thesis, Resource Allocation Mechanism for Multi-User, Multi-Channel Cognitive Radio Networks was developed. Cognitive radio technology is one of the most promising technology solutions to make the best use of the scarce radio spectrum resources in next-generation wireless communications. A novel channel allocation mechanism, namely the distribution probability matrix was designed, which can adjust the allocation strategy when the mobile network circumstances vary. A maximum throughput protocol maximizing the overall throughput based on the mechanism was developed, which proved to outperform existing protocols. The potential that a cognitive radio system can achieve was investigated through the formulation and solution of an optimization problem, maximizing the overall weighted throughput under the delay constraint. In this thesis, makes use of effective contribution to addressing the resource problem in the cognitive radio network and contributing to cognitive radio technology to realize its meaningful promises for future 5G telecommunications and beyond. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Engineering on Shi Wang with all associated rights and privileges.
Mr. Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Science in Applied Science Mechanics, Tikawana Kumirai. Nzita Lelo with distinction. Master of Science in Applied Science Metallurgy, Mukadi Mulala. Mr. Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with the requirements for the degree Master of Engineering in Industrial Engineering, Lyndall Furry with distinction. Hendrik van Niekerk with distinction. Master of Engineering in Control Engineering, Neil Herbst. Michael Stephens. Edgar White with distinction. Master of Engineering in Chemical Engineering, Sipho Masilela. Nazreen Ghani. Makine Nchabeleng with distinction. Master of Engineering in Electrical Engineering, Chuarelo Matabula. Master of Engineering in Electronic Engineering, Stefan Bota with distinction. Master of Engineering in Geotechnical Engineering, Louis Geldenhuis. Mario Schulz Poblete with distinction. Master of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering, Justin Marsberg. Andreas Paper with distinction. Vishal Ramnath with distinction. Mayur Tikam with distinction. Vincent Vermeer. Isaac Setsedi with distinction. Nico van der Merwe with distinction. Johannes van Zyl. Master of Engineering in Computer Engineering, Kobe Fick. Todani Luvengo with distinction. Pranesh Vallabh with distinction. Master of Engineering in Structural Engineering, Fabianus Gomachab with distinction. Master of Engineering in Transportation Engineering, Horatio Moniz Rui Martin with distinction. Master of Engineering in Water Resources Engineering, Chantal Niebuhr. Jacobus Potgieter with distinction. Mr. Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science Honours, Applied Science, Industrial Systems. Puleng Makoane with distinction. Doreen Makweng. Retabile Mpashlala. Mabuya Ramahuma. Meloni Tanna. André van Zyl. Bachelor of Science Honours, Applied Science in Chemical Technology, Malwanjla Hanaebe. Bachelor of Science Honours in Applied Science, Mechanics, Shepo Khare. Aline Maluleke. Bachelor of Science Honours in Applied Science, Metallurgy, Rendani Malabisana. Bachelor of Science Honours Applied Science, Mining, Tokozani Mchali. Feli Senda. Bachelor of Science Honours in Applied Science, Water Utilization, Eugenia Njlovo. Kolani Bulose. Zandile Earnshaw. Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Industrial Engineering, Grant Langman. Muhammad Omar. Andre Furi. Sive Ngwentle. Tabang Sebata. Martinez van Nieuwkoop with distinction. Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Chemical Engineering, Emmanuel Adu Awuku. Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Electrical Engineering, Freddy Bushidi Amisi. Ashwarya Biju with distinction. Kiobaka Poti. Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Mechanical Engineering, Nkolisi Shongwe. Boitshoko Baloy with distinction. Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Metallurgical Engineering, Isaac Cameron. Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Mining Engineering, Zbonelo Njlazi. Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Water Utilization Engineering, Mahabe Mojella. Mr. Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Engineering in Industrial Engineering. Hester Leroux. Gustav Müller. Nomashlobi Ntuli. Bachelor of Engineering in Chemical Engineering, Nkuleko Kekana. Khalirendwe Khorombi. Marifa Kidoge. Cassandra Masarimambi. Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical Engineering, Vusumuzi Mtombo. Albert van Heerden. Bachelor of Engineering in Electronic Engineering, Christian Swanepoel. Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering, Bradley Anderson. Renee Bezuidenhout. Quentin Boyson. Zandre Bota. Lerato Dialle. Benjamin Dumini. Andries Duvenacher. Ryan Fair. Sean Frost. John Gittins. Khatleko Gowe. Paul Groevier. Eckhard Hermann. Christopher Hoffman. Tyron Holgate. Petrus Hubert. Ray Creer. Lwazi Kubeka. Hyman Lottering. Jiaho Lu. Tapelo Maselle. Tongchai Masilela. Tato Moichowanetse. Nhlamulo Mutileni. Dylan Noswathi. Rajesh Padiyar. Cameron Pillay. Clinton Pingo. Divin Pretorius. Skumbuzo Radebe. Mashole Ramela. Takalani Ramatswana. Dakalo Ramachopa. Retumetse Ratlojo. Waldo Ruiz. Gamandeva Samu. Atuweni Samwa. Ivan Senecal. Sonwabile Singenu. Yamkela Sihia. Shami Sitolle. Willem Swanepoel. Millen Swart. Michael Truebody. Lufunofuno Shidada. Adriaan van Niekerk. Marius van Rensburg. Simone Zili. Bachelor of Engineering in Metallurgical Engineering, Pumalele Mota. Kutso Mrwata. Murunwa Sadiki. Okay. Nelen Selawadi. Bachelor of Engineering in Mining Engineering, Tabo Matabata. Travis Mitchell. Ipileng Motsoki. Spamangela Mtembu. Wandile Nobela. Ramatoy Raleigh. Tokelo Sotetsi. Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Engineering, Mpilo Nkuna. Ellen Semiallo. Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering, Tabo Baloy. Johannes Hasbrook. Rodney Malamela. Ntobeko Zondo. Master of Science in Engineering Management, Aristides Muhate. Ridovona Swarani. Master of Science in Project Management, Pumla Maja. Novuye Nkombane. Macheliso Tseisi. Mr. Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Engineering in Engineering Management. Grace Chileshe. Liseme Monare. Viven Munian. Master of Engineering in Project Management, Otto Kisig. Master of Engineering, Technology and Innovation Management, Emmanuel Mapalala. Bachelor of Science Honours in Technology Management, Princess Bengo. Mamakumo Khalehe. Queen Malachi. Morobadi Masenya. Nkosana Nguni. Sifiso Ntambo. Khakhan Mukanya. Lebohang Njlovo. Sibongile Ntombela. Moloke Nyaka. Tabo Nyati. Umkulisi Pazzo. Tembikosi Ramadzanga. Maredi Ranto. Zingisa Rwanda. Sizwe Seranyane. Pumozo Sintumule. Nkosinati Siwele. Bachelor of Science Honours, Engineering and Technology Management, Mpo Baisitse. Ezad Dilanga. Shlechetani Mabasa. Ulenda Madalane. Walter Madimba. Alec Njlovo. Duduzile Njlovo. Siyeselani Ntimbane. Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Technology Management, Nompumulelo Dlamini. Tato Niabella. Christian Pretorius with distinction. Bachelor of Engineering Honours, Engineering and Technology Management, Amore Duvenaga. Wynand van Zyl.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now almost at the end. I think it's time just we do the last congratulations. May I ask the parents, the friends, to give a big round of applause to the graduates. Now let's allow the graduates to respond with their own round of applause. Well, thank you very much. It has been a wonderful morning, a very successful graduations. Congratulations again to all of you. May you have a wonderful day and this be the beginning of a great careers. We have now come to the end of the proceedings. Before we close, I wish to invite all present for refreshments in front of this hall. You are now requested to stand for the singing of the national anthem and to remain standing until the assembly has been dissolved and the academic profession has left the auditorium.
Yeah.
By the power vested in me, I hereby dissolve this congregation of the University of Pretoria. Thank you very much.
Canteamus igitur,